Hey everyone! Today I'm showing you my LinkedIn posting system where I'm giving my own input and I'm also reviewing the posts before scheduling them for publishing, which ensures that the posts have actual value and some quality to them. But at the same time, I'm leveraging AI and make.com automations to save a bunch of time. So let me show you what I mean. So I have created Airtable database and there's a form for input. And here I can add two types of input, either only text-based ideas, or I can also add a link to an article, to a LinkedIn post, something that's also text-based. So let's add the first LinkedIn post idea. For example, personal branding is something that every startup employee should do. Really simple idea. And this is now triggering make.com automation through my Airtable database. And as you can see, it's already running. And the last step of the automation is actually done with Airtable automations, and it's sending a Slack message that the new post has been created and it has already been scheduled for publishing in Buffer. So I just have to review it here. Like if I like the post, I can just leave it as it is, and it's going to be scheduled at the specific time that I have set up in Buffer. But if I don't like something in here, or I don't like the post overall, I can just go to Buffer here and change the post or delete it or add pictures or something like that. So here it is. So there's this system that makes creating the post really easy and quick, but at the same time, I can always review and add some value that only a real person can give. And the whole automation has, as I said, like two inputs that I can give, link-based or just a regular text-based idea. So that's why the automation has two routes. One is using Perplexity AI to also enrich the data. So if I'm adding this really small idea of, I don't know, like cats are better than dogs, then the automation asks Perplexity to go onto internet and find some cool sources, statistics to kind of make this post stronger and more valuable. And then it sends my original idea with the enriched data to OpenAI, ChatGPT, and it creates the post. And with the second route, I'm downloading the file of the link. And this is because a lot of the pages and websites are now blocking AI from accessing their data. So for example, LinkedIn, I often get inspired by somebody else's LinkedIn post. So if I want to use that post as the basis of my idea, this is the type of automation that actually gets the text from that LinkedIn post, and I can use it for my own idea as well. Of course, referencing to the original author as well, not stealing any ideas. So that's the full quick overview of how it works. But now I can show you exactly how to build it up from scratch. So let's jump into it. Okay, so first of all, let's start building the Airtable database. So let's pick a new base. Let's rename it and call it LinkedIn posting, for example. And let's rename this as well. LinkedIn ideas, for example. And the first column, we're gonna name it content ideas, for example. And let's do a long text, because sometimes the ideas can be quite long. The next one, let's add a date created. And let's find the field type here as well. Create a time. I like to use the friendly format, the 24 hours format, just a preference of mine. Then another field, the LinkedIn post itself. And this definitely has to be a long text, and let's enable rich text formatting as well. And the last one is status. And let's do idea and send to buffer. And by default, it's going to be just the idea. Okay, and for now, we can delete all of these empty fields. And let's also set up a form. Input form. And the only thing to kind of remember with this automation, you can only add one link at a time. Of course, you could build an automation that uses the information from several different links and downloads the content and analyzes it. But this is a topic for another video. So for now, just one link at a time, and it's good to add this reminder here as well. One link per input, please. And we can hide everything else here, just the content idea is required. And again, here I think we can show the submit another response button, because sometimes you want to add several ideas at a time. Actually, that's how I'm usually using it. I'm doing it once a month or once every 2 weeks. And we can show a new blank form after 5 seconds as well. Okay, and open form. And now this is the form that we're going to use. We can bookmark it somewhere, and it's really easy to get used to this system of just adding ad hoc ideas that we come up with while, I don't know, having a shower, or either we schedule a time every month to just sit down and find some new ideas, and then we add several ideas one after another. So let's add the first idea here, but maybe let's do something with a link. So I have this idea based on somebody else's LinkedIn post. So I just wrote, like, I like this post about emails, make a post that agrees with these insights and summarizes everything. And then I link to the other person's LinkedIn post. Let's submit this idea. And now, as you can see, it's here. So now we have the first record we can use for setting up the automation and to start testing it as well. So now we're going to make.com, open up a new scenario, and the trigger is going to be Airtable, but we're going to choose the watch responses, the instant trigger. Now we have to set up an Airtable webhook here, which is a bit more technical that I would love to do, but because I'm a non-technical person myself, doing marketing mostly. But this is, I think, the best course here, because I don't want to wait until Airtable, make.com finds out that I have some new records, because usually, as I said, I'm doing this like once a month, adding a bunch of records, and then like I'm not doing anything for a month. So it doesn't make sense for Airtable to use up its operations and like checking every 15 minutes every day. So that's why I want instant triggering, and we have to set up a webhook, but don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do it, and you can just like copy paste everything I'm doing here and it should work. So let's add a new webhook. Let's do testing, because I want to delete it later. Testing LinkedIn operation system, for example. And now we got the webhooks URL here as well, which we're gonna need in a second. Now we're going back to Airtable and to automations. So now we have to set up an automation in Airtable as well. So we're going to use a trigger that when a record is created, we're gonna select our table. And we can choose the record that we already created here as well. And then we want this trigger to run a script. And here, one of the things we have to do is add a variable, record ID, exactly like this. And then we're gonna choose the Airtable record ID. So this is important part. And then there's this small code snippet that we have to copy here. Let's delete this. And I'm gonna share this code snippet and you can just copy paste it here. But the one thing that you now have to do is go back to make.com, copy this webhook URL and replace this part here with your URL. Okay, and let's test it. And let's see if make.com, oh, actually, yeah, I have to set it running and let's test it again. And let's see if Airtable module and make.com finds it. And yes, it did. And as you can see, the output is the record idea that we sent. Nice. So let's finish editing this as well. And let's set this on. Now we can call it webhook from make.com. So now the automation is set up on the Airtable side as well. The next module that we have to add is again Airtable, but now we have to get a record. So based on this ID, record idea that we're sending, we now want to catch all the other information that's connected to this record ID. So LinkedIn posting is the base we're using. And here we're gonna put that record ID. And let's run it again. And to test it, again, we can be here in the Airtable automation part and just test the automation. And it should trigger it here. And now it got my content idea, status, date created, so everything's working. So this was the more technical part, but now it gets more fun, I promise. So the next step is ChatGPT completion. Create a completion. The model, we're gonna use the latest one. Max tokens, if we put 0 here, it's gonna do the maximum. And user message, I have prompt that I'm going to copy paste. This part we need to. So basically this module is asking ChatGPT to determine if there is a link in the input somewhere. If there is a link, I want the output to strictly be the link URL. If there isn't a link, I want the output to be just no, just one word. So this is a really simple prompt. But here I also need to set the temperature lower because otherwise it might get too creative and it's going to give me some other type of output. So 0.2 should work here. Let's run this again. And again here we can trigger this automation testing so it works here as well. Okay, and since we, in this content idea, we did have a link, it should just output the link. And here it is. Okay, pretty cool. So the next step is going to be a router. Because now, like based on if there is a link or there isn't a link, there's going to have be two different routes make.com can take. And also let's set up the filters here because I usually forget about it later. So one of the filters is for no link. And the condition is that if this last step, if this equals to no, so if there is no link, it should give an output of no. So if this is a no, then this route is taken. And let's set up a filter link in input. So again, this content, and now we're gonna say not equal to no. So any other output that's not no is going to trigger the other route. Okay, and let's build out a link in the output first because we already are testing with this content idea. It has a link. So now the next module is get a file, HTTP file. Going to add this link here. And as I said, this step along with the text parser, the next step, it's HTML to text. These two modules are needed because, as I said, a lot of sites, especially LinkedIn, and I know a few more, have started to block AI traffic, so you can't really access it by saying Perplexity AI to summarize the content on this link, for example, which would be way easier solution in my opinion. So that's why we're going to download the HTML file, and then we're going to use the text parser to get the text part of that file, and this way we can kind of bypass the blocking of certain sites. And then the next module is going to be the ChatGPT module that's actually creating the LinkedIn post. So create the chat completion. Again, we're going to use the latest model, maximum tokens. And I like to put the temperature a bit lower, 0.7. And now let's add the user message. And again, I have a prompt that I have developed that I'm going to use here. So we have to replace these elements here. So here's the content idea, the original content idea then. Let's put it here. And now also the link that we got from the first module from ChatGPT, where the output was the link, because we want to add this link to the end of the post as well. That's the part where we don't want to steal anybody's ideas or content. We want to reference to them in a correct way as well. Okay. Then it's done. And this prompt and all of the other prompts, along with the whole make.com automation that you can copy paste and not do it step by step, you can access in my private community, aimarketingmasters.com. So you can check that out as well. Okay. And then the next is already Buffer. So Buffer I'm using for social media management kind of, or like scheduling my posts. It's really affordable. With the free plan you can schedule 10 posts at a time, but also like the paid plan is only like $5 or $6 per month. So it's really affordable, and I like to use this because even though I might schedule a bunch of posts like just in one sitting, sometimes I get a new idea for a different type of post, and I can go into Buffer and like move things around, and it's so easy. Or I can set up another automation that's maybe doing like carousel posts or something like that, and then it uses the same Buffer schedule and make sure that I'm not posting like 3 posts during one day, and then there's a week where that's there, and then there's a week where nothing gets published. So that's why I like to use Buffer. And also it's a great company, and I love the culture and everything about them. So Buffer. And we're going to create the status update. Only LinkedIn for now. And the last ChatGPT output is the one we want to get. And the publication, I'm going to put it as an add an update to the end of the queue. Okay, and then the last module in make.com is updating record in Airtable. So we want to put all of the text that we created to Airtable as well, so we could double check it if we want to. And the record idea is the same original one from the first step. Content idea is already there. The LinkedIn post now is from the last ChatGPT module. The status, we're going to add a send to Buffer. And that's it. So now we have this whole one automation route figured out. Let's try it out again. Let's activate it here from this Airtable automation. Okay, now it should trigger it. Okay, should be done now. So let's see. Yes, and the LinkedIn post is here. I can already use this as well, but honestly with this automation, I will end up using only the input form that I have bookmarked, and then I'm going to check the finished post in Slack. So this is the one step we just need to set up as well. And this is the part that we're going to set up again on Airtable automation side. So let's create the new automation. So when a record matches conditions is the trigger, and the status is sent to Buffer. Okay, and then send the message to Slack. Here, let's say there's a new post scheduled in Buffer, and I'm going to add a link to my Buffer queue, like the general link that you get from the browser tab. So I could easily like just click the link and go and change whatever you're changing. Then let's separate it a bit, and here let's now add the LinkedIn post. Bot name, we can do like LinkedIn bot or something like that. Okay, and now it's done. We can generate the preview, like how it's going to look like in Buffer. I mean, like how it's going to look like in Slack. So this is it. And let's turn this automation on as well. And I can show you how I previously already had it set up. So this is how it's going to look like. There's a new post. It's going to, this is more accurate. There's a new post. And if I want to change something, I'm going to go to Buffer and change it, edit it. If I don't want to change anything, I don't have to do anything. It's already scheduled. It's already going to be published based on the schedule that I have set in Buffer beforehand. And in Buffer, just to quickly show you, in the settings, you can change a posting schedule, like how many times a day you want to post, what times, stuff like that. So this is all really, really easy to set up, and you don't have to really worry about it. So that's cool. Okay, but we still have like the second part of our integration, but we still have the second part of our automation to set up. So let's add a new content idea here that's purely based on text, so no links. Okay, so let's do an idea. Estonia is the next Silicon Valley for startups. Just like a cheeky idea. And then this idea is here already. Let's make this scenario run. And let's go back to this webhook automation to quickly test it. Okay, now I triggered it. And let's start building out this part of the automation. So here, I'm actually starting with Perplexity. Perplexity AI, my favorite new Google. And here, user and content, I also have a prompt already figured out. So basically, I want Perplexity to take this content idea, and I wanted to output a new fact statistic, something to enrich this idea, so it could be stronger and based on some data as well. So if my idea is about Estonia being the next Silicon Valley, I wanted to go into the internet and find if there are some sources that kind of prove this idea or kind of bring out some new interesting facts about it. Okay. And the next step is then the ChatGPT module that's actually creating the LinkedIn post. Again, the latest model, maximum tokens. And again, temperature 0.7. And the user message is going to be one of my saved prompts. The content idea I have to add here, the original one. And now the Perplexity data as well. Okay, and the next one, as you can see, it's now getting more repetitive, so I can just like copy these modules and just change them here. So let's change it up. And let's update their table as well. Okay, so now it's done. Let's run this whole automation, and now it should also trigger the Slack notification. So let's trigger it here again. Okay. Yes, it was sent to buffer, and it also triggered Slack automation. Estonia is the next Silicon Valley for startups. Did you know that 44% of employees in Estonian startups are ages of 31 to 40? Interesting. This age group brings experience, innovation. Here's why Estonia. And there's a source link as well. So if I'm okay and happy with this post and I agree with it, I'll just let it be. If I want to change anything, I'm just going to go to buffer, as I said. But other than that, this is the full automation, and I feel like this has more value than just like generating regular garbage with AI, because you have to add your own input, your own ideas, or at least like find something that inspires you. And there's also the second step of reviewing everything. So that brings more value than any other AI automation that I've seen using social media. If you want to get the shortcuts, again, join my private community, aimarketingmasters.com. And if you're thinking that you just want to get the results, the LinkedIn posts, and you don't want to come up with the whole system, you don't want to sign up for make.com or do any of that stuff, I also have a startup called Bless Pirate, where basically you can get the same thing and even more. So you get the input form, and there you can add your own ideas as input, and you're going to get the finished LinkedIn posts in your mailbox several times per week. And before they are sent out, an actual person is also reviewing those posts. And if you don't feel like you have any new ideas some weeks or some months, we will generate those ideas, original ideas for you as well. So you can always be consistent with LinkedIn posting, and you don't have to worry about skipping weeks or days or falling off consistent posting schedule this way. And also one more thing you can get with Bless Pirate is the fact that you can also add YouTube links, and there we are analyzing the YouTube content and using that for the ideas as well. So you get a bit more than what this make.com automation you were seeing here can do for you. So figure out what works for you. Either you want to build it step by step, get some shortcuts from aimarketingmasters.com, or if you don't want to do anything, just sign up for blesspirate.com. Hope you liked this video, and see you next time. Bye!